Okay, so we've covered what a Kegel is. We've covered what the knack is. Now we're going to cover how these things begin to apply to different things in real life scenarios. We're going to talk a little bit about the abdomen, the lungs, and the diaphragm, as well as the pelvic diaphragm, right? So a little bit of background. Anatomically, right, we're thinking of this as our core. We like to say in the clinic that you want to think of your abdomen as a can, right? So we're thinking of the can idea here, where the walls of the can are the abdomen as well as the back. So it's very circumferential, right? Like discount double check. And in that regard, we have walls, we have a top, we have a bottom. In the knack, or using the blow as you go ideology, the right, before you initiate a movement, that is for a one-time, one repetition, repeatable repetition movement. But things that require continuous effort, let's say walking or jogging or carrying something or doing yard work, where you're constantly moving, right? We need to be considering both instances, both types of tasks on both far ends of 1 rep and 5,000 reps, being 5,000 steps, how the pressure in the abdomen is being managed, right? So as far as pelvic floor contractions go and starting to put these things together, in the initial phase of the learning process, we encourage blow as you go. We encourage get your air out. We encourage exhale, nuts to guts, then lift. But you need to be able to have an idea and an understanding of where those things come into play. So initially, we're going to be doing a lot of breathing exercises in the first 2 weeks of the pre-program, pre-surgical program. That's going to involve working on getting an idea of where air goes in your can, right? At first, we start with the abdomen, breathing into the abdomen, different positions. You're going to max out how much you're breathing into the abdomen, and then exhale it. We're also going to encourage you to breathe into your back, especially when you're doing your exercises where you're doing your diaphragmatic breathing, lying down on your belly with a pillow under. Once you match that pressure in the front, the pressure wants to go somewhere else, so you're going to breathe into your back. And then as we go further down, thinking about when you inhale, the pelvic floor muscles, right? If we're thinking about the can, the pelvic floor muscles drop when you inhale, lift while you exhale. So functionally, that's why we say exhale, nuts to guts. Blow as you go, do the knack. When you're inhaling, the inhale is a relaxation time for that can. So when you inhale, your diaphragm pulls down, creates more space, your lungs fill up. When you inhale, your pelvic diaphragm does the same thing. There is a dropping sensation. So learning the extreme ranges, the top end and bottom end of the spectrum, as well as bringing an awareness to it, really helps you understand more of where your holdup is, right? Sometimes these things and these explanations become a little bit repetitive in nature, but we found that most guys need to hear these descriptions and explanations in multiple ways at different times, because it takes a lot of time, effort, repetition, and understanding these things for you to be able to fully grasp the full picture, right? So managing your pressures on the initial, we're focusing on anytime there's a hinge movement, anytime you go to sit or stand or turn. At first, blow as you go, then go. As we progress and as we get into more of the specifics of how to do things such as walking to avoid leakage, we're going to talk about independently working Kegels and breathing. But at first, I keep saying it, At first, the idea here is to get the best understanding as you can, and pairing the exhale with the nuts to guts is the most efficient means of doing so. So, pressure management, get your air out, think of the whole wall of the can, either expanding on the inhale and on the exhale, emptying that can. That is pressure management. That is blow as you go.